cart page widget is part of a robust collection of widgets from Prodigy Commerce, giving you complete control over the design of your e-commerce store. It's usually very difficult or impossible to customize your cart page with other e-commerce plugins like WooCommerce. Prodigy, however, provides a simple widget to control every aspect of that cart page, from text colors to product image formats like seen here. To insert the cart page widget and control its settings, go to the cart page in your Prodigy connected WordPress dashboard. So here we can click on Pages and then select the cart option. After that, it will ask you to edit with Elementor. By default, Prodigy already provides a shopping cart for you, powered by a shortcode. However, we can't necessarily customize that as much as we can with the shopping cart widget. So the best option is to scroll down in the Elementor control panel here under Elements, and under Prodigy Commerce, select the cart page widget. You can click and drag on that and place it wherever you'd like, and you'll essentially see a duplicate of what was generated from the shortcode automatically. Yet contrary to the shortcode, where if we click on it, you'll simply just see the Prodigy cart shortcode, when we select the widget, it reveals all sorts of style and advanced settings for customizing just about every element within the shopping cart. There are dozens of settings to choose from. We won't go through every single one of them, but as you can see, we can customize everything from the products table to the product images, as well as subscription conditions, price, quantity, and the buttons. Every tab has its own controls. So for example, for a products table, we can modify the value typography. You might change it to your secondary, text, or accent presets, or for even more control, there are several variations of families as well as sizes that you can choose from. And as you can see, the table column titles is only referring to the titles that you see at the top of your shopping cart. So product, price, quantity, and total. So depending on your brand, you might increase the size or the weight of those headers, as well as the text color, padding, border type, and the border color. And what's great about these widgets is that every single one of these tabs offers very similar settings. So for product rows and product images, you might see something like typography or border widths. If we open those up, there's padding, border types, and border width. Now this would be for the product rows. So as you can see, we're adding it to a completely different section of the shopping cart. And the setting that we showed previously during our introduction was for the product images. So we might include a strong border width as well as a slightly different color than what we saw before. These controls extend to the product title as well. So if you wanted to add a bottom margin to separate the SKU and the product title, or adjust the link color when someone hovers over the link, or the typography, those are all certainly options. Many of these tabs also depend on what has been added to the cart or what's available on your store. For example, if you offer subscriptions, then you can customize the subscription labels. If a customer adds a product with attributes, then you can also customize what those look like in the shopping cart as well. Some items that are almost always in the shopping cart include the remove link, price, quantity, and the total, as well as the subtotal and buttons. So for example, the remove button, we can move that around, change the text color, as well as the typography. The pricing has controls as well, like adjusting the size of the pricing. If you wanted to make it a little bigger, you can choose a different weight, as well as transform it. And transform, style, decoration, those are available for virtually every single aspect of these widgets. So if you wanted to change those for the subscription tools or the remove link, it's all available there. So we might add an italic to the pricing. And then the quantity ticker also has its own settings, so you can change the width, spread it out a little bit, adjust the colors. Maybe we wanted to make it a little bit more red. There's also a background color as well. The total, subtotal, and buttons are all very similar, where you receive options for things like the border types. So if we wanted to do, say, a double border type for the buttons, and then increase the border width so that you can see it reflected around the buttons there. There's also a border radius to round out the edges or the corners of those buttons, as well as controls for individual buttons. So we have one that says continue shopping and one that says proceed to checkout. For the continue shopping button, we might want something completely different. As you adjust those settings, it's also important to remember that there's always this advanced tab that gives you further control over the design of your shopping cart page. For instance, you can add to the margin or padding, or customizing the width and position of your shopping cart, and also adding CSS IDs and classes for further customization. And of course, every widget that comes with Prodigy connected to Elementor provides options like motion effects, transform tools, background colors, and customization. So if you wanted to do a specific background type, we could choose a color or an image. In this case, we'll choose a light colored blue to go along with the borders that we chose before. Along with advanced border, mask, responsiveness, attribute settings, as well as the faithful custom CSS section to type in or paste any of your own custom coding, there is complete control over the shopping cart with this widget all through Prodigy Commerce.